Sunday, March 17th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going to start off with the afternoon high today over in Los Angeles, where it was a balmy 85 degrees. That's about 15 degrees above normal. And the reason I'm showing you this is because this is just one of many examples of abnormal temperatures around the country, and not only around the country, but around the world. 15 degrees above normal, and I'm getting people telling me that one day it's 15 degrees in their community, and then the next day it's 65. So there's been some wild temperature variations going on lately. This is just another of one of those examples. 85 today for a high in Los Angeles in mid-March. But what I want to show you in this video are some exceptional pictures that have been sent in recently. And I'm going to get started with a slideshow I put together right here. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the temperature, even though you think it probably would. It doesn't. It has to do with the intense sunlight. I think it has to do with more of a light UV type of thing here. But what you're going to see are some pictures that were sent in by Jimmy from Northern Illinois up by Kankakee, right here where I have circled on this map. And the photographs that you're going to see are taken today from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in a 5-hour time span. And the temperature there was 40 at the time I did that. 41 was the high. This is what it looked like at 9 a.m. in the morning. There's what it looked like at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And it was only 41 degrees for an afternoon high. So that sunlight's already starting to get intense. Check that out. That table was covered with, what, 6, 7, 8 inches of snow? Granted, it might have been fluffy, wet snow, but the sunlight is intense, completely gone in 5 hours. And that's why he sent me the pictures, because it disappeared so quickly. 5 hours time, all of that snow was melted, or at least the majority of it. Pretty incredible. And there wasn't a temperature anomaly. 40 in that area for this time of year is probably right around normal. Some areas of the country are way out of normal. We've been much cooler here for this time of year, even though the last couple of days have been right around normal. But we've been below normal out here in the southeast Phoenix area. But look at that example there. The whole backyard was full of snow at 9 o'clock this morning, or when he got up, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, completely gone, or at least the majority of it. So thank you, Jimmy, for sharing. I appreciate that. Also got some new sky phenomena I want to share with you guys. Got a lot, to be honest with you. This is just a small sample of some of the great pictures that have been sent in, and video, by the way. This one here was sent in by Becky. Check this out, from Texas. See that big triangle in the sky? Look at that thing. I don't know what we got going on here, if that's the sun, if that's something else, but you can see the outline of it right there. I adjust it with some other filters, and you'll see in the, I think it's the black and white right there. Look at that. Crystal clear. The outline of something there in the sky. We're seeing way too many of these things around the world. Here's some more examples of sky triangles. This is one up by the moon. This was sent in by, let me check real quick, Angie from Idaho. Notice this, sent in 3 or 4 really good pictures of a what looks like a jet black triangle up by the moon. And I'm going to show you some multiple pictures, and you can see this thing is moving. Pay attention. The moon is down at the bottom right hand side of this triangle craft in the sky. It's even blocking the moon. Perfect triangle. We're seeing these things all over the world. Look at that. I just adjusted the lighting just a little bit to sharpen it up. Now the next set of photographs are the same location, but you can see that the triangle has moved. The moon's here in this photograph. The next set of photographs, you can see the moon's up here. So you can see it did move and stayed intact. Or at least the outline of what maybe once was there stayed intact. I don't know. But it definitely is another example of triangles that we're seeing in the sky. Triangles and boomerangs. It's just off the charts. I've actually seen them myself. Here they are side by side. Got the moon down here on the lower right-hand side of this craft, and the moon on the upper right-hand side. So you can definitely tell it was moving as she took these photographs. So great observation out of Idaho. Another great observation here from South Carolina. I run this one through some different filters, and it really comes forward. It's nice and sharp edges on this one. Look at that. Looks like a big pyramid in the sky. Triangle-shaped craft, pyramid, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely not a random cloud in the sky. Those are very sharp lines that form an angle. Seeing lots and lots of these around the world. Great observation, guys. You're doing a great job. Seriously. And now we've got sky circles. And it's crystal clear yet again. Check this out right here. Crystal clear circle in the sky. I'm going to stop it right here on this format. I don't know how she noticed that. That was a great observation from down on the ground. Don't know what that is, guys. There it is again. There's a close-up of it here. Nearly a perfect circle up near the sun, or near the proximity of the sun. Haven't been seeing as many of those as we've seen triangles, but that's a very good example of something in the sky near the sun that resembles a circle. Got another circle too I want to share with you guys. That's a little bit bigger than this one here. Wasn't in the proximity of the sun, but it's definitely out of place with the rest of the clouds in the sky. It just doesn't fit in, much like this here. Doesn't fit in. Looks like it comes from another source. And here's a circle here behind the clouds, or at least it appears to be behind the clouds. That was sent in by Darren from Alabama. See it back there? It's kind of hard to miss. Everything else looks kind of linear. And then you've got this circle just out of nowhere, just sitting back here. This is a different filter here. Look at that. I have no idea of its origins either. Now this here was sent in by Palfi from Northwest Toronto, and he noticed something off in the distance, and it wasn't a typical contrail. And when we zoom in closer, it certainly isn't a typical contrail. Don't know what it is, if something maybe entered the atmosphere, and this is the trail that it left behind. Maybe it was space debris, a meteor, I don't know. But that's thick, got a round point to it. That looks like some sort of a space debris almost to me. That was noticed up in Toronto, Northwest Toronto. This I switched the formats a little bit, and you can see how that darkened up. That was very, very thick. Created a thick plume of something, and it almost looks like to me it was some sort of a, might have been a meteor. Don't know. I don't think there was any meteor reports from up in that area. Something unusual today noticed by Brian from NAVARRE, Florida. He said looking at this thing, it almost looked like it came from some sort of a craft, an energetic craft that was moving through the sky. They just looked completely out of place. This was from NAVARRE, Florida, which is in the Florida Panhandle. Brian's very observant. He's a very observant sky watcher down in the Florida Panhandle. And this is one of many that he notices on a weekly basis. He's always seeing something really good in the sky. Once again, that's Brian from NAVARRE, Florida. This was sent in by Travis from Dallas, Texas. Look at the movement in the upper atmosphere. Or maybe that's the lower, I don't know. But that tells me the winds were howling at a very high rate of speed when he took that photograph. Almost to the point where they look like they're blurring. Well, they were blurring. The camera couldn't even record them. Look at that. That was over Dallas, Texas just a couple of days ago, or less than a couple of days ago. That wind must have been moving at over 100, quite possibly 200 miles an hour, and it's not uncommon for the wind to be blowing at that speed in the upper atmosphere. That's common, but you don't normally see it. Those clouds were just thrown into a pure streak. This is an unusual formation in the sky noticed by Bonnie off in the distance. Looks like some sort of an earthworm up in the sky. Just something unique that we don't normally see. Just out there all by itself. The only thing in the sky was that. Good observation, Bonnie. Thank you for sharing. Photograph here was sent in by Kelly from Ohio. And the more you look at it, the more you see. And when you zoom in close, you see something here. You've got what looks like a very long, slender rectangle, either going into the sunset or the sunrise. I'm not exactly sure which, but it's a very unique photograph. Got a lot going on here. Been getting a lot of good photographs out of Ohio. And you can see here I completely flipped this, and we've got blue lines and dark blue lines and light blue lines and the big rectangle, almost as if something square moved through the sky at this time of day. Really a neat photograph. Good job. Here we've got some sun halos. I always like these guys. This was sent in by T. Thompson. Noticed a big halo around the sun. All of these pictures are fairly new. This was sent in by Jimmy D. Another big halo. Here I just kind of adjust the lighting a little bit to give it a little more pop. There it is. And I've got one more that's around the moon. That's very profound. This was sent in by Jennifer from Texas. The halo is from Cancun. Look at that. Very big, bright moon halo. Don't see those very often, but every once in a while they do show up. Got a lot of new pictures here at the website in the Sky Phenomenon Photo Gallery. Everything here at the website is real-time data up here at the top. It's updated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The daily report is the newsroom. Got very interesting stories in there, guys, that are updated at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day. And there's also occasionally a scientific white paper that goes through the daily report. That's the newsroom. This next little video I put together was sent in from New Jersey, sent in by a person that goes by the name of Cyber. And they stepped outside and were just absolutely awestruck when they looked up and saw this giant contrail in the sky that looked very, very low, almost like it was almost touching the ground. Look at that. Unbelievable. You got to ask yourself when you see something like that, what type of machine, look at that thing, what type of machine made that? That's the question I ask. That thing is massive. Don't think I've ever seen a contrail that big. And that's why they took the video. They were absolutely stunned. This is the video they sent in. It's about 23 seconds long. Then they sent in a couple of still images of the moment. And they just had to capture the moment because they'd never seen anything quite like this. Amazing. And again, this is from New Jersey. And there wasn't just one, there was also two, one way over here to the right. There's a still image of this very large contrail. And here's a close-up of the still image. And I asked the question, what made that? Or did we even see what made that? Great video, great pictures. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. Got a lot of new stuff in the gallery, guys. I uploaded nearly 20 new photographs in the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery, so don't forget to check those out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day and be safe out there.